All right, everybody, welcome back. Another exciting show going on for you guys. This is Brian from thelegalelbow.com.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook.
Tonight we got a stacked show for you guys. Stick around, take a seat,
grab a brew,
and get settled in, man, because we're going for a ride right now.
Yes, brother. Get on your Harley, man, and go across the Pacific.
Oh, yeah.
Rising from the ashes like the
What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
I think you're right about the Carano thing, because it says fucking Rousey, Carano, TRT, UFC, London talk. There's, you know what I mean? I think you might be right.
Yeah?
You and your buddy fucking called it. I tell you what, it's stupid as all fucking get out, because what did Gina Carano go out on? She went out on her fucking shield because she lost her ass to fucking Cyborg. And she had movie deals in the works. If she didn't have movie deals in the works, she'd be back fighting, I'm sure. But
she wanted to save that face for the movies.
Right. Or she just, or it was a good paycheck. You know what I mean? If she didn't have that good paycheck, she may have just said, fuck it, I'm going back to fucking work or whatever. You know, I'm done with this fighting shit. I'm getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you're not going to make a lot of money in the fucking movies if your face looks like Bangladesh. You know, it's like, looks like fucking mincemeat. So
Right.
And she did get it beat in by Cyborg, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was just thinking in terms of her, if she didn't have any movie deals, because there's plenty of pretty women. There's plenty of pretty women in MMA. They don't all get movie deals, though. I mean, some of them obviously not yet. They will, but she was just in the spotlight.
And some big coin either, like her movies were selling anything. So I think this probably led to the fucking decision.
Yeah, it could be. Well, UFC was probably knocking her door down because they wanted to bring her in before they wanted to bring Cyborg in. It's just more money to the build-up, you know.
Cyborg, I still see Cyborg coming in, but later in the year, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
He's going to fucking play this out. He's going to fucking...
Money.
Yep. He's going to grab some cash. But,
shit, people, if you don't think it's true, man, just look at the flow of cash in these, in any champion that wants to face a certain guy or or any fighter that wants to face certain competition. It's like, no, it's more about the money. It's not about what you want, really. You know, I think that's why we're seeing, some fighters just being happy with not being in the UFC, because there's not only a lot riding on it because you're fighting top competition, but there's a lot riding on it because you're facing a company that is all about profits. You know, the Fertitta brothers, didn't jump into this because they love the sport. The first thing I'm guessing is they didn't love the sport when they first got into this. They wanted fucking dividends. You know what I mean?
They wanted fucking money, and money will force you to like the sport, I guess. This sport I fucking finally found out after I cleared 20 mil. This fucking sport's great, man.
Right. And you got somebody that's so gung-ho about it. And, don't get me wrong, man. I think Dana's, hyped and pumped about his sport. And I'm sure, the guy's a huge fan, but I think he's more consumed with dollar signs than he is about anything else. And I think that's what makes his place now so not such a great thing anymore. It's so wrapped around dollars, and that's what makes it suck, I think. But
it's become that, and that's why, we bitched about 170 being a flop, because after the injury from Rashad, we heard the fucking hype train of Cormier versus Cummins. They even put it on. It was all over the place. Their little fucking spat over via whatever on an MMA show. It's like, it was straight out of fucking WWE, the way they were going back and forth. Really. Yeah. It was like two fucking paid actors from WWE trading smacks with each other, verbal smacks.
It's almost sickening. It's like, you go back to the original days. These guys were just in front of a mic, maybe like WWE, but they were actually for real. They were like, no, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna wreck this dude. They barely even knew the guy they were talking about. They only saw him on some piece of video, because even the internet wasn't that big then. So it's not like they can go and do homework on the internet. You know what I mean? They were probably sent a video or some kind of burnt DVD from somebody's computer somewhere, or Before we get to in the thick of things, man, we got pretty much the main event of of what we're talking about tonight, anyway. Which one thing I want to point out real quick, man, is George Gurgel and
holy fucking. Was he talking out of his eye after that fight?
I think he might have been.
Holy fuck, his eye was smiling.
This just proves to me that Mike Ricci is a good fucking fighter, and UFC dropped his ass way too early, I think, because. I think Mike Ricci's a really good fighter. I don't know, whatever. I watched him a little bit in the show here and there. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of the guy, but he doesn't seem like a bad guy to me. They kind of portrayed him as this cocky kid. You know what I mean? Whatever. It says
a lot of these guys that come on the tough got a fucking bravado to them. Hey.
Right. I guess if you get onto that show, you've got to have a sense of, I think I made it here. I'm in the big leagues now. There's probably a little bit of that going on. I'm sure you probably feel awesome about yourself. Hey, I fucking made it into this. Fuck, this is for real now. I'm sure. It says right here on the post, MMAfighting.com, following his release from the UFC last year, Mike Ricci 9-4 promised to finish every opponent on his road back to the big show. And I didn't see the fight with him and George Gurgel, but Gurgel looks like if there's some kind of meat grinder you could put a person through.
Yeah,
he went through it, dude.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but yeah, that was vicious.
And he's already back on with another fight scheduled. He's facing another ex-UFC guy that was let go last year, 14-6, George Soteropoulos. So
fucking Ceratopoulos.
Ceratopoulos, baby. That goes way back 2011 right there.
No, back when he was like fucking good, grappling motherfuckers, taking them out, and we're like, damn, this motherfucker's good. I don't know what the fuck happened.
He came out of the gate as a submission specialist, ruining dudes, but as soon as he got anywhere, middle of the road, near any kind of a top 10, he really had a big problem. Dudes were starting to just wreck his ass. And
fucking bring a Tyrannosaurus Rex in that motherfucker against Ceratopoulos, man.
It's Titan FC 28. Is Vinny Magalhaes versus Jason Brills, two ex-UFC guys. Well, Vinny Magalhaes goes way back. But Dave Herman versus DJ Linderman, which, this is like, they should call this Titan Fighting Championship UFC party. Because it's like, holy shit, this is ex-UFC fight card. I mean, really.
Yeah, but, it's like Titan FC has been card.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Herman, I'm still excited to see what he can do. I mean, I wouldn't say excited, but I'm interested to see what he can do. I'm probably a little more interested to see what Jason Brills is going to do. Because I thought Jason Brills looked really good at one point, lost a couple, and he just got cut right away. It's like, it's kind of like along with him and Mike Ricci, it's like these guys might have been cut a little too soon, but
yeah, Herman wasn't though. I'm curious.
No, Herman.
I'm curious on how he's going to get knocked the fuck out with no head movement, unless he's learned a whole shitload of head movement.
Yeah, no, you're right there, dude. I can't disagree with you on that. I think if he's in there with somebody that is just going to go toe to toe and strike with him, he can usually do pretty good, but. He just, I think his personality, maybe, he just could never get himself to take it fucking serious enough. He was constantly joking in every fight. When he got in with Roy Nelson, which I think Roy Nelson was his last fight in UFC, I believe. I mean, Roy Nelson just collected his ass, with a quickness. It's better that you're where you are now because we might actually be able to see a little bit of something now. These guys might say, oh, you know what? Maybe it could be a huge... boot to the ass. Hey, all right, now fucking realize what you have in your hands now. You still have an opportunity to get back to the big show if that's what you want. Dry your eyes and fucking get back to work. Because he's one of them guys I've always thought, this guy doesn't take it seriously enough. And if he can get to work and fucking start taking shit seriously, he could jack some people up in Titan all day long, I think. You know what I mean? So... Anyway, man, just to throw that out there, I thought that was some cool, quick news,
But there's some major fucking news that we just heard, like, yesterday. And this is basically what we were talking about for a long time here. These two need to meet up. We're going to know where these two stand in the rankings, in the heavyweight rankings. And they're almost identical fighting styles, in my opinion, when it comes to boxing.
Yeah.
But I actually, and I don't want to say this, but Stipe, man, if fucking Stipe uses what he uses and keeps his fucking face out of the way of some devastating hits and just uses his jab to fucking point, I see him taking this one, man. Stipe is like fucking climbing the charts like a fucking rocket right now.
Well, you know what the size and difference is between these guys?
Not much.
I looked it up. Junior Dos Santos, 238, 6'4". Stipe, 6'4", 240 pounds. I mean, they're virtually identical in size and weight. You know what I mean? It could be heavyweight fight of the year, in my opinion, man. What we've seen from both of these guys, I mean, I think that if you put it together, Stipe beat the crap out of Roy Nelson worse than fucking JDS did.
Yeah. You can almost say that fucking Roy was doing halfway decent against JDS. You know, he was staying in there with him a little bit.
Yeah, he just got crapped on in the fucking Stipe fight. Jeez, man. Stipe had too many answers for Roy Nelson. So if Stipe is able to focus his game on a JDS and have some kind of a game plan like he did with Roy, you know, just switch focus a bit, what's he going to do to fucking JDS? I mean, we know JDS is not JDS can be beat the fuck out. He's been knocked out. So, you know what I mean? We can't, I don't know, man. I think, I don't want to stray too far away from, JDS coming back, with just fucking unbelievable power like he always does. But it's like, we've seen him come back to a title shot and get hosed even worse than he did the first time.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll probably go back and forth on this probably. We're some months away from it, but the announcement itself, we'll probably be touching on it a little bit in every show until, it comes up. That's how important this fight is to both of us. It's right in our wheelhouse. We like the heavyweights, and like you said, it could be the fucking heavyweight fight of the year.
This could, in my opinion, be just all-out brawl of the year, if not just heavyweight fight of the year. In my opinion, I mean, if this is if it's a good 5-round fight, which, fuck, man, it's going to be so hard to pull that off. These guys are both knockout strikers. I'd say JDS a little bit more. Stipe on the cusp of big things. This is a huge opportunity for him. He cannot, you know what I mean? He cannot scrimp on training. He cannot fucking, I can't even put the words together, man. He cannot screw this chance. He's got to, and I believe he will take every opportunity to make sure this is, he'll be his all for that night. You know what I mean? And how do we know? I mean, at this point, it's how do we know what JDS is going to be coming back? You know what I mean? I got a lot of faith in JDS, don't get me wrong, but, he's come back to fight Cain Velasquez, and I was all in his corner. I thought, you know what? It's going to be a mirror image of the first fight they had. He's going to knock this dude out. He's going to know what to do this time, and he didn't know what to do this time. But one thing I will give to his credit, man, this just popped in my head. He stepped outside of the Nog brothers training, and that was smart. That was smart.
Could be the start of some new good things for him too.
Really could be. He said, "I'm forever with the JD or with the Nog brothers, but I wanted to at least go outside to, get more experience and try some different things." And dude, we've been talking about that for months, probably a year now. He needs to step outside and look at something different because he's getting killed. These guys have taken him as far as they can take him. They've reached a ceiling, and that's it.
You need to get some better, higher quality training partners, not just your buddies down in Brazil where you can get done training and go upstairs and get your pajamas on and fucking, watch some Teletubbies. You have to fucking, you gotta fight against the best. You're not gonna get sleep. You're gonna be fucking training constantly. You're gonna be on a diet. You're gonna be watching film. You gotta get in the camp. Take him out of his comfortable element is what I'm saying. Make him work for it. Get the hunger back. Get somebody like Jackson in his ear. You know, Jackson's got that where he's got fucking nutritionists following the fighters around, and when they go out to eat, the nutritionist is ordering fucking food for them, you know, to keep them on their regimen. You know, because it's Jackson's got this all down to a fucking science now, you know.
Yeah. No, that's for damn sure, man.
He's a proven success. I'm not saying this is exactly who he's got to go to, but somebody maybe with that kind of mentality of, you know, championship training, you know, really preparing to go for the belt again.
Somewhere he named who he's trained with, who helped him out with his training, you know, recently. But I don't remember who it is. But before we can dive back into this, man, for sure. But one thing I want to do is pay some respects here real quick. Just kind of some headlines up today. There's a Extreme Fighting Championship fighter that died due to injuries sustained in the fight, you know, in an MMA fight. So really sucks. I'm going to jack his name all up, I'm sure, but it's Buto Gailane, Extreme Fighting Championship Africa fighter. Dies to injury sustained in an MMA fight. He lost to Karan Davies. Might be jacking his name up too, who knows. But it was Thursday via TKO in the third round. EFC Africa 27. So I wanted to just, you know, just send out, you know, people have some good thoughts, prayers, you know, what you will for Mr. Buto Gailane's family and whatnot. So it really sucks. Really sucks for their family. It's a black eye on the sport. So anyhow, man, just throwing that out there, man.
Yeah, you know, you saying, I just want to add one more thing. You saying the black eye on the sport, you could almost hear the proponents of MMA coming out of the woodwork right now saying, "I told you so. It's a fucked up sport. People are dying. Like more people fucking die from boxing a year than
absolutely.
Way more. It's not even in the same category. People get injured in football way more.
Gives a fuck what you think.